Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be giving you guys some romance recommendations for one of my favorite tropes, and that is the touch her and you die trope. These are all going to be romance books with heroes that are very protective, overly protective of the heroine, and if anyone insults her or touches her or harms her in any way, they're gonna regret it. I love this trope. I absolutely love seeing a hero just go like feral over the idea that somebody is hurting the heroine or disrespecting her. And all of these books I think kind of have varying degrees of touch her and you die. Some of them it's like touch her and I'll punch you in the face. Some of them are touch her and I'll rip your throat out. And some of them are touch her and I will quite literally gut you like a fish. Also, almost all of these were 5 stars for me. I just eat this trope up every single time. So the first book that I have is actually the one that I've read the most recently, and it is so far my favorite romance book that I've read this year, and that is Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman. So this is a very dark romance about this girl who is kidnapped with her sister's fiance. They've known each other for a very long time, since they were teenagers, and they've always had sort of like an antagonistic kind of relationship where they make fun of each other, pull pranks on each other. They just really have never gotten along. Late one night, she calls him to come pick her up at a bar because she'd been drinking and someone stole her wallet. And so he comes to pick her up, and as he's picking her up, they are both kidnapped by this serial killer who always kidnaps people in pairs and chains them up in his basement and tortures them and tries to make them fall in love with each other. And once his victims finally fall in love with each other, then he finally kills them. So that's the situation that they have now found themselves in, and this book tore my heart out. I sobbed so much. It made me feel so much. It is very, very dark, very graphic. But I think what I loved the most about this book is that it's not necessarily about what happens in the basement and like the trauma. It's about what happens afterwards, and about how people who have gone through such dark things, how they work through that, how they navigate life back in the normal world. This book is literally touch her and you die. I'm pretty sure at some point he even says that line, if you touch her, I will kill you. And he's not lying. And I have not stopped thinking about this book since I read it. So the next one that I have is Hooked by Emily McIntyre. This is another dark romance that is loosely a Peter Pan retelling with Hook, and he wants to get revenge on the man who ruined his life. One day, Wendy walks into his club, and she's the daughter of the man that ruined Hook's life, so he sees this as the perfect opportunity to mess with her dad. This does turn kind of into like a captive kind of thing. Hook is feral. He is insane. He quite literally rips out someone's tongue just because they called Wendy a bitch. Amazing. I loved this book so much. Next book that I have is Brutal Prince by Sophie Lark. This is a mafia arranged marriage romance where the son and daughter of 2 rival mafias are arranged to be married to broker a truce between these 2 warring families. Neither of these people want to marry the other. They hate each other. In fact, they've tried to kill each other on multiple occasions, and the families are hoping that by forcing them to get married, they will stop trying to kill each other. But they're wrong. I loved this book. Through the course of it, when they really start to grow feelings for each other, Callum becomes so protective over Ada, especially after something happens and her life is put in danger. He literally like will move heaven and earth to keep her safe. The next one that I have is Her Soul to Take by Harley LaRoe. You guys know this is like one of my favorite romance books ever. This is a paranormal, horror, supernatural romance book about this girl who is like a ghost hunter, and she meets this guy who turns out to be a demon, and he becomes so obsessed with her that he wants to claim her soul and drag her back to hell with him. And he literally will die for her. The lengths that he goes to protect not only her, but her cat. He literally will give his life for not just her cat. Like, oh, there is one demon in this world that I love, and it is Leon. This was my favorite romance book of last year. I really want to reread it soon. I saw that they are producing audiobooks for the books in this series, and I cannot wait. I definitely will listen to the audiobook when it comes out, but I highly, highly recommend this. The next book is A Lady of Rootsgrave Manor by Catherine Moon. So this is a monster reverse harem book. This one has the touch her and you die trope, but like times times 5 because there are 5 monster men in her harem, and they will all cut a bitch if you mess with their woman. This book was super fun, probably one of my favorite monster romances that I've read because of the variety of monsters that are in here. I just loved the way that all of these monster men loved and cared for and protected the heroine. The next book is Twisted Love by Ana Huang. So this is a brother's best friend romance. It's Grumpy Sunshine. This is following a girl who is very close with her brother. They live next door to each other, and he is going overseas for a year. So while he's gone, he asks his best friend Alex to stay in his house and kind of keep an eye on his sister. Alex and Ava could not be more different. She is sunshine. He is cold ice. He's very grumpy. She's very happy and positive. I love their romance so much. He is very, very overprotective of her even before they get together because she is his best friend's little sister and he was asked to watch over her. But the protectiveness just gets more and more as they are developing their relationship, and I loved this. Alex is such a great hero. The last one that I have is a historical romance, and that is Never Seduce a Scot by Maya Banks. This is one of my favorite historical romances. It is a Scottish Highlander romance where 2 people from rival clans are arranged to be married. Everyone from the girl's family thinks that she has a mental disability, but what they don't know is that when she was a kid, she had an accident on a horse that left her deaf. But because of the time that it was, nobody knew what being deaf was, so they just assumed that after that accident, she had a mental disability. So she's arranged to marry the laird of a rival clan, and when they meet, he becomes so protective of her. He wants to take care of her. He starts to notice certain things about her, and he actually realizes that she is deaf. The way that he just like nurtures her and takes care of her is so heartwarming, and I just loved this romance so much. So those are all of my touch her and you die overprotective hero romance recommendations. So now that I've given you guys recommendations for this trope, I need you in the comments to give me recommendations with books that have this same vibe, because they're my favorites and I eat them up every time. I need more. So please, please tell me in the comments your favorite books that have this trope. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!